Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process on how to build this amazing sales dashboard in Microsoft Excel. So by the end of this video, you will be able to develop this amazing sales performance dashboard on your own. So right now, let us see what is happening on the dashboard. So when you come here, we are representing our total sales and then the total cost by each year. So we have 2014 through to 2017. So this is what is happening. So by just looking on the chart, it will be very difficult for you to uh, understand what is happening, right? So when you click on the recommendation here, right, when you click on this one, you get a drop down saying sales and cost are both increasing steadily. However, the sales growth rate, that is what 16%, is higher than the cost rate, leading to what improved profitability. So what we are saying is that yes, sales is growing, but then it is growing what steadily. So whilst sales is growing, our total cost is also what's growing. So if this is the case, we are recommending to management that management should continue scaling sales efforts, right? Whilst monitoring cost efficiency to maximize margin. So whatever that management is doing to increase our sales, they should, focus on that one and then see if they can or they will be able to add another, or extra things to the programs or the advertisement or whatever that they are doing to increase the sales. But then we are also cautioning them, or we are also making it clear to them that okay, whilst focusing on the sales, you should also pay attention to our cost, because whilst our revenue is growing, our total cost is also what's growing, right? So we shouldn't only pay attention to the sales, rather we should also pay attention to what the cost, so that we will get a balance between the two. So when you click here, you will see that the uh, recommendation and then the explanation will be hidden, right? Perfect. So that is what is happening here. So we have our slices. We have our slices here. We have our slices here. Perfect. So when you come here, management wants to know the day that they are making more profits, right? Management wants to know the day that they are making more profit. So from Sunday to Saturday, which of the days are they making more sales, right? So when you check here, we are representing, or we've highlighted 2 days, right? We are saying that we recorded the highest sales from the two highlighted days. So it is representing what 41%. So when you click on a different filter, you see the days will be what changing, right? The days will be changing. Perfect. And then when you come here to, we are trying to show management the total sales by what product subcategory. So we have about 20 subcategories in our data, in our raw data. So here we are only showing five at a glance, right? We are only showing five at a glance. So if management or whoever is using the dashboard wants to get more, insights about the remaining uh, categories, subcategories, they can just click on the button here. They can just click on the button here, and then they will be able to, get more insights about the data, right, or about the subcategory uh, products. Perfect. And then we can also filter our dashboard by what the year. So you see 2016, this is what 2017, this is 2014. And then we can also filter by what month. So in 2016 June, this is what is happening, right? In 2016 September, this is what is happening, right? Perfect. So this dashboard is very, very dynamic. It is very, very dynamic. So assuming you are done with your analysis and then you want to clear all the filters, you just have to click on clear filters, and then all the filters that you have selected will be cleared. Do you see that? Yes. So this is the dashboard that we are going to go through together. I believe that by the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to uh, understand how to use Microsoft Excel to solve a real world problem. So I'll leave the data sets or the raw data that we used in this tutorial in the comment section or in the description area. So just download the data. It is free, 100% free. Download the data so that we will go through this process together. All right. So if you have not watched the first video, kindly go and then watch the first video before you come to this part. So I'll leave a link to the first video in the description or the comment section. So do well to watch the first one so that we all be on the same page. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to, achieve so far. So we did the analysis and then we represented it on the dashboard. Perfect. Now, in the second analysis or in the second problem, management wants to know the sales over time. So they want us to analyze the month over month sales trends to help them identify seasonal patterns, operational changes, and then what shift in sales effectiveness. So this is what we are going to do in this section. So what I normally do when I want to insert another pivot table is I copy the previous one, select everything and then Control C to copy. And I come here and then I paste it here, right? I paste it here. So we don't have to go back and then insert a different pivot table. So you can use the same pivot table. We copy and then we paste and then we edit this one, right? Now you ask yourself, why didn't I paste it under this one? But I pasted it here. Now, whenever your data is growing, right? Whenever your data is growing, it grows vertically like this, right? But this KPI, it will grow like this. If you are to add another KPI to it, it will grow like this. That's why I've leave this space here, right? Perfect. But then with the month over month trend that we are going to work on, it will be growing like this. So it is advisable not to add a new pivot table under the previous one. So you have to what add it beside it. So whilst we move on, you will understand what I'm trying to say. Perfect. Now let's add something to differentiate that this is different from this. So you know this is different from this, right? Perfect. Let me scroll to this part. And then instead of this being KPI, I'll do it what monthly trends so that you know this is what monthly trends. Now, I don't want to see the total sales, total quantity, and then all the other KPIs, right? So what I'll do is select the pivot table because you are not seeing the field list here. I'll select the pivot table, right? Click and then select what show field list. Show field list. So when you click on it, you are going to see the field list. Now we don't want to see all these, metrics here. So what you can do is just when you select it, you drag it outside, or you can come here and then deselect it, right? Deselect it. So now it is left with only the total sales. So management wants us to break the total sales into what months, into various months. So January, what is the sales for January? March, what is the sales for March? July, what is the sales for July? Out to December. You get that? Yes. So what we are going to do is when you look through the headings here, you're going to see we have months here. So if you're wondering how we got the month, kindly watch the first video. We walk through everything extensively. All right, so this is the month. We are going to drag it under the rules section, under the rules pane or rules section. Perfect. Now we have our month and then the total sales. We have our month and then the total sales. Perfect. Now I don't want this place to show to say row labels. I don't want it to show say row labels. I want to say month, right? I want to say month so that whenever someone open our workbook and then he or she is exploring our analysis, you know that okay, this column is for months, this is what for sales. Although you are going to know, but then it is advisable to always make sure you do the right thing, right? So you select anywhere in the pivot table. Let's delete this one for now. Select anywhere in the pivot table, go to design, right? Click on design, and then on design, come to the layout section. Come to the layout section. Sorry. Come to the layout section. Then under the layout section, you see report layout. Click on report layout and then select show in tabular form. Click on it and you see this is the month and then this is what the total sales, right? Perfect. Now I also don't want to show all the numbers. So I don't want to show something like 137,762. I don't want to see show everything. So if it is 137,762, I would say maybe something like 138K. You get it? Yes. So if it is in million, I'll say 138M representing million. If it is in trillion, I'll say 138T You get that? Yeah. So this is what I want to do. So just select all the numbers, and then control one, and then come to custom, under the type here, under the type here, just delete everything here, clear everything here. You're going to type it ourselves, clear everything. Now, this is what I'm typing. Typing the dollar sign hash. Don't worry if you're not seeing it. I'll copy it and paste it in the cell so that you see what I'm doing here. So I'm doing hash, sorry, dollar sign hash, comma, hash, sorry, hash zero, and then comma again, and space, right? Space. Then the space, I'll type what K in quotation mark, right? K in double quote, sorry, in double quote, K in double quote. So something like this is what I'm typing: dollar sign hash, comma, hash zero, comma, space. Then in double quote, I bring what my key and hit. Let me copy it and then paste it in the cell so that you know what. I click on OK. So this is what we are seeing. This is what I'm typing. Let me Perfect. So I'm typing. I said hash dollar sign hash, comma, hash zero, comma, and then double quote, and then inside the double quote I brought my what key. All right. So now you see this one is saying 95K instead of saying 95,100 and something. Do you get that? Perfect. All right. Now, since we are done with this, we can show it in our chart, right? We can show this data on our chart. So you ask yourself, what chart will be very ideal here? So are we going to use the combo chart? Are you going to use bar chart? Are you going to use pie chart? No, we are not going to use all of these charts. We are going to use a line chart because the line chart shows what trends, right? The line chart shows trends, and in this case, we also want to show trend. That's why it is ideal for us to use what the line chart. So let's select our data, come to the insert tab. And then on the insert tab, you see, come to the chart section here. Then you see this line chart here. Click on the drop down and then select what the first one. Perfect. So this is what our line chart. Right, this is our line chart. For now, it is not looking nice. It's not looking nice because we have a whole lot of things that we don't want to see here. Right, perfect. So we are now coming to what format the chart so that it will look like what we want. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just right click on this one, right? Right click on the total sales here. Come here to the last part here. You see hide all field buttons on chart. Hide all field buttons on chart. So when you click on it, you see it is gone. Now I also don't want to see the chart title. I don't want to see the legend. Perfect. Now in the future, I'm going to delete this when activate the data labels. All right, now I don't want to see the lines here, right? It brings noise to our chart, right? It brings noise to our chart. So I'm going to select the grid lines and then hit my delete key on my keyboard. Perfect. So our chart is beginning to take shape. Now, I also don't want to see the chart in this shape, right? You see this zigzag, this zigzag, it doesn't look professional. So what I normally do is just select the chart, sorry, the line. When you select the line, control one, and then you'll be presented with this format data series. Click on the format painter here, or click on the format bucket here. Then now we are on what line? We are on what line? Just select okay, on the line, sorry, on the line, scroll down, on the line, scroll down, and then you see smooth line. Smooth line. Just click on the smooth line and you see now our chart is what? The line is very smooth. Perfect. Sorry. Okay. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to get so far. All right. Now I want to have some data labels on it so that it will show, okay, January, this is what we had, February, this is what we have. But then I don't want to show data labels for all the months. I want to show data labels for March, June, September, and what December. So that is what these are the quarters that we have in the year. So we have 4 quarters, right? We have 4 quarters. So quarter one, that's what? March, quarter two, June, three is what? September, and then four is what? December. So this is what I want to do. So for now, I'm going to select the chart. I'm going to select the chart. Control one again, right? Control one again, then select the paint bucket here. Now we are online. Then toggle to or change it to what? Marker. Change it to marker. Let me bring this one here. Change it to marker. And then expand the marker options, right? When you expand the marker options, select what? Built in. Select built in. So the built in, the type should be what? Circle. Click on the drop down and then choose this circle. And then the size, let's make it, I think, let's make it 7 or 8, right? Let's make it 8. Perfect. Now let's change the color. Let's change the color. So when you scroll down, you see we have fill, right? We have fill. So on the automatic, scroll down and then click on the drop down here. So the color that we are going to use is not here. It's not part of these colors. So we are going to select what? More colors. So click on more colors. Then you'll be brought here. Now I'm going to use the hex code, and then now when I'm done, I'll mention out the RGB to you. So the hex code I'm going to use is hash uh, FB hash FB 8500 hash FB 8500, right? Yes. So if you want to use the RGB, the red is what? 251, the green is 133, and then the blue is what? 0. Then click on what? Okay. So now you see our markers are, taking shape, right? So scroll down, and then you see the border. Let's make the border, the color of the border, let's make it white. And then when we come here, let's make it the width 1. Let's make the width 1, right? Let's make the width 1. Let's come here and see. Okay, now everything is set. Let's clear it. Now see, we are having too many markers here, right? We're having too many markers. So for now, let's select the chart. Select the chart. Click on the plus sign here. Click on the plus, and then let's activate the data labels. So just select data labels. Make sure the data labels is what? Checked. When it is checked, you see we have the data labels for all the months. So this is for January, February, March, April, May, blah 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 blah. So what we want to do is, okay, for now, this is what I'm going to do. You see, I don't want to get a space between the number and then the key, right? So let's select it once more. Control 1. Then the same thing, we will have the same thing here. Just make sure you delete the space between them, right? Delete the space and then hit OK. So now we don't have any space here. So when you check the chart too, we don't have any space between the number and then the key. All right. So now I don't want to see the data label for January. So I'll click on it twice and then hit delete. Now I don't want to see February too. Click on it twice and then hit delete. But I want to see March, right? Because that's what the first quarter. I don't want to see April. So click on it again, delete. So the same thing for May. I'll leave June. I'll delete that for July, August, sorry. And then I'll leave September. I'll delete October. I'll delete November. Perfect. Now I don't want to see the markers for all the months, right? You see, we don't have the data label, but the marker is showing. So just select the chart, control 1, select the paint bucket here, and then go to marker, come to marker, expand the marker option, expand the marker option, expand the marker option. Let's select none, and then let's select built-in. Okay, let's see. All right, I want to delete this one. All right, let's exit this one. Exit the data series. Select. Okay, so first of all, select the chart, right? Select the chart like this. select the chart, control one. Let's select the format painter once more. And then when it comes to the marker, right? Let's see none, right? Let's see none. Okay, so now we don't have any marker, right? We don't have any marker. Now let's show the marker for the months that we are showing the data labels here, right? So we select the chart, this one. You see, it is selecting all. Select it once again so that this one, only this one will be what? Selected. So control one, right? Control one. Come to the format painter here, select the marker, and then select built-in. So with the built-in, we are going to choose what? The circle, right? You are going to choose the circle. And I think everything is okay here. Perfect. So let's bring this one here. Let's select for what? June. Do the same thing. Come to marker, built in, and then choose what? The circle. Do you get that? Yes. So the same thing. Built in. Let's choose the circle. And for December, built in, let's choose the circle. Perfect. Now, this is what I want to get, right? This is what I want to get. So since I have the data labels here, since I have the data labels, I can now delete this one. Perfect. So I'll have enough room or enough space. All right. Now it is time for us to represent the chart on our dashboard. It is time for us to represent the chart on our dashboard. So what I'm going to do is let me make it small. And then whilst the chart is selected, right? Whilst the chart is selected, I'll hit Control X to cut it, and then Control V to paste it here, right? To, sorry, to paste it here. Okay, so now I want the chart to be in a shape, right? I want the chart to be in a shape. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to Insert, Illustration, Shapes, and then I will select this one, the rounded corners. When I click on it, I'll drag this shape here. I mean, just forget about the size for now. You're going to work on it. Now, you see this button here. You see this button here. It controls the roundness of the shape, right? So just select on the button and then drag it outside. Select it, drag it outside so that we work on what? The roundness, right? I think this is okay. So let's leave it like this. Now, let's control the shape, the size of the shape. So whilst the shape is selected, I'll hit Control 1, right? First of all, I'll clear the line, right? I'll clear the line. And then the color, I'm going to just come to color, under the fill, come to color, and then choose this 5% darker, right? Choose this 5% darker. Now you see it is now showing the same color as the background. So the chart is not showing, right? Don't worry. We are going to work on it. So now select the chart, come to shape format. Now I'm going to make the height. So when you come to the last part here, I'm going to make the height 2.5, right? I'm going to make the height 2.5. And then the width, I'm going to make the width 5.14. So the height is 2.5. The width is what? 5.14. Now, we are not seeing it, right? You are not seeing the chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some shadow outside the chart so that the chart will show. So let's go to shape format once more. Shape format, and then under the shape styles, right? Under the shape styles, you see shape effect. Shape effect. Click on the drop down and then see is this presets? No, shadow. Let's come to shadow, right? Come to shadow. So I'll choose this one. Center. Is this center? Should I use center? Let me check this left. All right. Okay, let's choose center and see. Right. So shape shape effect, shadow. Let's choose the top right and see. Top right. So it is showing on the top and then what? Right. Perfect. Now let's control the transparency. So the same thing, shape effect. Under shadow, when you select this, control one, control one, right? Control one. Now let's work on the transparency. Okay, it's not this one. It's not this one. Sorry, sorry. Let's go to shape format again. Then shape effect, shadow. Sorry, shape effect, shadow. Let's go to shadow options. Perfect. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So let me do it once again so that you follow it. So select the chart, go to shape format, and then under the shape styles, click on shape effect, hover on shadow, select the top right. When you select the top right, there's now select what the shape, sorry, shadow options. Click on shadow options so that you see this shape format shape. Now I want to control the shadow, right? I want to control the shadow. Let's say something like 70. Is 70 okay? Okay. Let me make it 75. I think 75 is okay. Perfect. So now you see we can see the chart, right? We can see the chart. Or I should make it center. Right. Let's try center 2 and see. Center. Center. Okay. So that we have shadow all over. I think this is okay. Let's go and control the effect, sorry, the transparency. So hover on shadow and then come to shadow options. Transparency, let's make it 75. Okay, I think this is okay. Right, this is okay. Perfect. So now we can bring our chart on the transparency. I think it's too, I mean, let's make it 85 or 80 and see. 85 or 80, 85. Something like this is okay. Yes. We don't want it to show too much. So something like this is okay, right? So now we can, when we are trying to put the chart on the shape, you see it is, I mean, moving to the back, right? So let's select the shape and then right click. Then we will choose what? Move to front. Move to front. And now you see it is now at the front, exactly how we want it. So don't worry about the color of the this shape. We are going to work on it. Let's make sure it is, sorry, it fits in the shape like this. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's bring this one to the down part like this. Okay. So now what can we do? Select the shape, right? Select the chart, not the shape, right? The chart. Control one. Control one. See the border. Select no line. The border. Select no line. And then when you come to the fill, select no fill. Do you get that? So that the background will be the same as what? The shape. The background will be the same as the shape. Perfect. Now this is what we want. Now we want to change the color of the chart. Right? We want to change the color of the chart to this color. So select this chart, select the chart, control one, select the paint bucket, and then underline. This one, this time around, we are not going to marker. Underline, right? This one, line. Select this one and change it to the color that we are using. If you want to know the color that we are using, just what do you call it? What is the color of? Okay, so just select the color and then let's go to more colors. And then the red color, the red is what? 33. The green is what? 158. And then the blue is what? 188. If you want to use the hex code, it is what? Hash 219 EBC. Hash 219 EBC. Perfect. So this is what you want, right? This is what you want. Okay. Now, I think let's make the markers big, right? Let's make it so, okay. Select it. Control one. Come to the format bucket. Go to marker and then expand the marker options and then see built-in. Select built-in. Uh, let's redo that again. So whilst built-in is selected, let's choose it. Let's choose this one and then let's make this one 9. The size, let's make the size 9. Okay, let me Go back. Perfect. Let me do it one so that I'll not get any error here. So it should be 9, right? This one, select this one, make it 9. Select this one, make it 9 so that it will show properly. So select this one, make it 9. Perfect. Now let's select the data labels and then Control B to bold it, right? Control B to bold it. Now, this is what we've gotten so far, right? This is what we've gotten. Now, it doesn't, when you look on the chart, what are we trying to communicate? Right? What are we trying to communicate to management? So, what we want to communicate to management is to, what? To show the top three performing months, right? To show the top three performing months. So, we want to show that on the chart, right? But when it comes to the analysis, we don't have anything to show, right? We don't have anything to use to show. What we can do here is uh just follow me, right? Follow what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, right? So what I'm trying to show you is we want to show the top total sales, top three sales, right? And then the corresponding figure, and then this one will be top three, let's say month. Let's select everything. Let's bold it. Perfect. Now, follow me closely, right? Follow me closely. So what I'm going to say is that instead of just looking through the data or going through the data and saying, okay, this is the top first highest number, and then just type 352, and then come here. Okay, what is the second highest number? This one is the second highest number. Then I'll type here 325. So this one, when you do it like this, it will not make your dashboard to be dynamic, right? The dashboard will not be dynamic. So what we are going to do is we are going to use functions. So in the earlier videos, I told you that we are going to use functions when we start with the analysis, right? Perfect. So what we are going to use function, and then the function that we are going to use is called what? Large. We are going to use the large function to retrieve the top three cells here. So just follow me. So now I'm going to show my formula bar so that you follow it here. All right, so you select the first one here, the first cell here, equal to large. Now the large function returns the kth largest value in the data set. So you already know that large. Now the first argument that the large function is taking or requires us is what from us is array. Now the array is what the cells that you want to return or what you want to return. Where can we find it? So this is the array, right? This is the array, and then because we are going to copy it down, right? Because we are going to copy it down, let us lock it F4 to lock it, right? F4 to lock it, F4. So if your F4 function is not working, just hold your Fn function and then click on F4. Perfect. So comma, and then the kth number. The kth number is what position. Are we looking for the first position? Are we looking for the second position or the third position? So we are looking for the first position, right? This one we are not going to lock it because when we are copying it down, we want this one to come to the second and then this one to come to the third, right? Let's close it and then hit enter. So this is what we are getting. Now let's drag it down and see what we are getting here. So now it is very difficult for you to read, right? So let's select this one. Let's copy the format and then paste it here. So select any number here, go to home, and then under the format painter, click on the format painter. When you click on the format painter, select the first one and then drag it down. Now you see what we've gotten here. Perfect. So now when you look through the data, you see the first highest number is what? 352. Now when you check here, you see 352 is the first highest number, followed by what? 325, followed by what? December 325. And then the third highest number is what? 308. That's what? September. Right? Perfect. So this is what we want to get. Now we also want to get their corresponding month. So okay, now we've gotten the number. Now this number represents what month? This number represents what month? This number represents what which month? So this is what we are going to do. Now you ask yourself how you are going to do that. So you can say that, right? You can say that you can just come here and do equal to. Let's look for the highest number. This is the highest number, and then get the corresponding, and then get it here, right? But then it is not this one. In the future, you are going to experience some error because we are going to insert filters. So when you insert the filter, you see that your what do you call it? Your dashboard or this number will only reference November, right? Because we are referencing it manually here, right? But then we can use a function to do that, right? We can use a function to do that. Then the function that we can use is the I think the index function. Now I'm going to show you the uh, wrong way, not entirely wrong, but let's say 50% correct, right? And when I'm done, I will show you the 100% correct. Now the index function, sorry, are you using the index? Okay, yes, we are using the index. So the index function. So what the index function does is it returns a value or a reference of a cell or of the cell at the intersection of a particular row or column in a given range, right? It returns the value or reference of the particular cell at the intersection of a particular range or column in a given range. Now, this is what we are seeing. It requires three arguments. For now, it requires three arguments: the array, the row number, and what? The column number. Now, the array is what? What are we using as reference, right? What are we using as reference? So now we want to return the month, right? We want to return the month, but then we will reference this. We are going to use the number as reference to return the month, right? So we are going to use what? This one, this total sales, right? F4 to lock it, right? F4 to lock it because you are going to copy it down, comma. Then the row number. The row number is which or yes, which row or what row can we find the number we are looking for? So we are looking for 352K, right? We are looking for 352K. Now, when you come to the total sales, which row, right, can we find the 352K? So we can find the 352K by counting the row, right? So this is row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the 352K can be found what? At the row 11. So we just type what? 11 and comma. Now, the column number, the column number is also saying which column can we find what we are looking for or what we want to return. So we want to return the month. So the month is in what? The first column, right? So you hit what? 1. Then let's close it and let me show you something. Now, do you see it? Do you see what we get? We are getting this because the number, what do you call it? This number eh, is can be found at the 11th position, position 11. But then this is not what we are looking for, right? This is not what we are looking for. So this is where the index and match function comes in, right? The index and then the match function comes in. So now let's combine the index and then the match function. Now you ask yourself, what is the match function, right? You ask yourself what the match function. The match function returns the relative position of an item in array, so in an array that matches a specified value in a specified order. Forget about the English, right? Forget about the English. It is very, very simple. Now, let's do it. Index. The array is where can we find the number that we are looking for? This number, right? This number, where can it be found? Can it be found? It can be found here, right? And then F4 to lock it, comma. Now, instead of we manually typing the row number, right? You see, this 352 can be found at row 11. Instead of we typing it manually as 11, we are going to use this function, this match function, right? To return the position that we want, right, to return the position that you want. So doing this, it makes it dynamic. So don't worry. So now the match function is saying the lookup value. What value are we looking for in this array? Right? In these numbers, what value are we looking for? We are looking for the 352, right? We are looking for the 352. So now we can reference it here, right? Comma. And then this 352, where can it be found? Where can we find it? Right? So lookup array. Lookup array. So the lookup array means here. We can find it here. Right? You can find it here. Perfect. Comma. And then the match type, you want the exact match, right? You want the exact match. So let's click on the exact match and then let's see if you get it right or wrong. Let's close it again and then we hit enter. Now, instead of returning the month, we are returning the amount, right? So this is no good. So when you come here, instead of referencing the month, right? Instead of referencing the values, let's reference what? The month. So let's drag this one here, right? Drag this one here. Now, in order not to confuse you, I don't want you to confuse you. So let's do it again. Index and then the array. This should be the array instead of this, right? Instead of the number, let's select the month, then F4 to locate, comma, the row number. Instead of manually typing the row number, you can use what? The match function to make it dynamic. So the lookup value, we are looking out for this value, comma, lookup array. This value, where can this value be found? So we can find this value here, array. So anytime you hear array, it means multiple cells, right? Comma. And then the match type, we want to get the exact match. So forget about the less than and then the greater than. We want to get what? The exact match. So you can double click on it, then let's close it. Then let's close the index and then hit enter. Now, do you see that? Now you see the 352, its corresponding month is what? November. So this 352, its corresponding month is what? November. Now let's drag it down and see. This one too, we are getting November again, right? We are getting November again. Why are we getting November? So let's double click on it. Now, watch here. You see, as we are moving down, this one too is moving, but we want it to be fixed. We want it to reference from 95 to from January to December. We don't want to add the grand total. So what we can do is we can come here, double click, and then edit the formula. So this one, we have to lock it. That's why the absolute, or that's where the absolute and then relative cell referencing comes in, right? So if you don't understand that, don't worry. Don't worry. In the future, we are going to explore all these things. So we have locked it, right? Let's hit enter. Now let's drag it again and then let's see if you are going to get the correct thing. Now, do you see that? So when we double click, it means this one is locked. Okay. When you come here, when you double click, it means you do get it. You are referencing the same thing. And when you double click, you are referencing what? The same thing. Now, 325 is what? December. So when you come here, 325 is what? December. Then 308 is September. When you come here, 308 is what? September. So it means that whatever we are doing is what? Working. Right? What we are doing is what? Working. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show it here. So now, what I'm going to do is insert a shape. Come here, insert a shape, and then I'll insert this shape. I'll drag it here. Drag the shape here. Small one like this. Sorry. And then control one. Sorry. I'll remove no I'll remove the line, and then when I come here, I will select this color that we are using, right? So when I right click, I'll go to what? Edit text. So edit text, I can say top 3 months, right? So now whoever comes to our dashboard will know that, oh, okay, so I'm trying to what? Representing the top 3 months. So now let's make the text, 12. Let's drag it here. Perfect. Now let's center it. Come here. Let's center it. Let's center it here. Perfect. Now, this is what I'm getting, right? You can make it small like this. It depends on what you want to get, right? It depends on what you want to get. Okay, so now I'm going to return the month here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this text box, place it here, then I'll change the color. So change the color to the font color to this, so that okay, I think this is okay. Okay, this color. Now I'm going to return the first month here, right? I'm going to return the first month. Let me reduce the font. Let's make it 12. Perfect. Now you already know how to, bring something to the dashboard, a number to the dashboard. So you select the shape, or you select the text box, come to the formula bar, type what equal to, then this one. Let me drag this one here. The first month is what? November. Hit enter. Now we have what? November here, right? We have November here. Let's duplicate, place it here. So you make sure you take your time and then you do it nicely. Now let's go and bring the second highest month. That's what? December. Enter, duplicate, and then let's go and bring the last month here, September. Perfect. Do you see that? Yes. So now we want to get uh, its corresponding value, right? We want to get its corresponding value. So we want to have something like this. So watch here. I'm going to reference this, but then I'm going to add concatenate it with the space. Watch here. Just follow what I'm doing, and then close the bracket. Hit enter. So do you see that? I just added the column here. I just added the column. So now instead of referencing this, I can reference this. So this and this is the same thing, right? Let me drag it here. So do you get it? Yes. So let me come here. This one, sorry, this one. Instead of referencing the first one, I can reference this one. Enter. So when I do you see the column? Perfect. So this is what I want to get, right? And then this one too. Instead of referencing this, I can come here and reference this. It's the same thing. I just added the column, right? I just added the column. And this one, instead of referencing this, I can reference this. Perfect. So let me drag. Okay. Perfect. Now let's bring the corresponding month figures. Let me drag this one up. Sorry. Oh, sorry. This one up, and this one up. So now let's bring their corresponding figures. Let's once more duplicate this, place it here, and then instead of referencing this, we can go and then what? Reference what? The original number, right? Do you see that? Yes. So in this case, whoever will come to our dashboard will know that, oh, okay, so these are what the top 3 months. Then if any decision that they want to make, they can make based on what you have done. Perfect. Equals, and then the last one, that's what this enter. Do you see that? Yes. So this is what we are trying to get. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we can also bring it up. Can bring it up. Okay, that's perfect. So you take your time and then you make it very nice, right? Because you are going to present this to management. It should be something professional. Do you see that? Perfect. Let me bring this one down. All right. Now we are still not done, right? We are still not done. We want to say something like November, December, September. right, amounted to maybe uh, anything that you want to say, right? Anything that you want to say. So November, December, September amounted to maybe 44% of what anything that you want to see, right? We can say that something like we can say something like top 3 months, November, December, September, accounted for maybe 50% or 40% or maybe 20% of what of our total sales, right? Perfect. So now we don't have the percentage here. We don't have the percentage here. So what we can do is uh, just select this part equal to. Now the top 3 months, we can do something like the sum of this three, right? The sum of these three divided by, okay, let's close the, you have to close it. Okay, divided by what? The sum of what? All the sales that we had, right? Something like this, and then hit enter. Perfect. This is what we have gotten. Now let me clear it and then do it again so that you follow. So the sum of this top three, right? Close the bracket, divided by the sum of all the numbers, right? All the so we have in the month. So this is what we have, right? So let's select the percentage, control one, then select what percentage. We don't want to see any decimal place here. So hit what? Okay. So we have what? 43%. So it means that November, December, September, these top 3 months collectively amounted or accounted for what? 43% of our total sales. Right? Perfect. Now let's bring the caption. Accounted for. Although, okay, don't worry about this one. We will do that in the chat or on the chat, right? So what we are doing is, or what we are going to do is select one of them, duplicate, bring it here. All right, and then we are going to see uh, accounted for, right? Accounted for. And then let's duplicate this, bring it here. And then now we can bring what the percentage. Just follow everything and then you'll be good to go. There's the percentage, right? Then let's duplicate this and then bring this one here again. And now we can see uh, so accounted for 43% of what for our total sales. Perfect. So now let's change the color. Let's make it a little big black, something like this. Or that. Perfect. So change this one to change it to this color. Perfect. Now let's make this one this color. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Font should be this color, right? And then let's bold it. Let's make it big so that whoever sees it will know that, oh, okay, so this is what the percentage that we are getting from what our top three sales. Perfect. Now let's shift this one here. Select this, shift this one here. Select this, shift this one here. So please make sure you take your time and then do it nicely, right? Do it nicely. Perfect. So now, whoever comes to our data or to our dashboard will know that, oh, okay, so this is what we are trying to communicate. So the top 3 months are what? November, December, September, and then these are what their collective or their responding figures, right, or amounts. So you're saying November, December, September accounted for 43% of what total sales. So now, if you are eager and then you want to, analyze or yes, analyze go details, you can just come here and okay, so this is what we are getting for January. When you over, you see, but for now we are not seeing uh, our markets here, right? So let's click on that. Click on it again. Control one. Okay, we have this. Bring it here. Select the format painter. Go to marker. Expand the marker option. Select built-in, and then choose what this one. Then let's make this one 9. Right? Perfect. Now let's go to fill. Fill is okay. Perfect. Everything is okay. Select June. June, we are doing the same thing, built in. Select this and then select that. Let's make it 9. Select this, built in. Let's make it 9. Then the last one is what? September. Sorry, December, built in. Let's make this and then let's make it 9. Perfect. So now when we exit our formula, okay, this is what you've been able to, achieve, right? This is what you've been able to achieve. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to do so far. Now the next task is to find or to calculate for the total sales and then the cost by each year. Right. So uh, what we are going to do is to represent our total cost and then our total sales by each year. So management wants us to present the yearly breakdown to show how sales and cost have evolved over the time or over the years. Right. So what we can do is the same thing. Go back to our analysis and then make sure we copy this, Control A and then Control Z to copy. And let's come here and then we can paste it somewhere here, right? Let's paste it here. Perfect. And then let's bring this color to differentiate them. Perfect. Now let's rename this to uh, total sales and cost by year. Perfect. So this is what we've gotten. All right. Now, since we don't want to show the months and then the total sales, what we are going to do is right click, show the field list, and then we are going to remove the month. So it will be left with what? The total sales. Now we are showing the total sales by what? By year, and then what? By total cost. So you drag the total cost under what? Total sales. So this is what we've gotten so far, right? Perfect. Now you can use this to insert our chart. So what we can do is select the data, go to insert, and then on the first uh, column chart here, select the 2D column chart, right? So now let me clear this. All right, so the same process, we are going to format the chart. We are going to remove all the buttons and everything to make the chart very look nice and then professional. What we are going to do is right click and then hide all field buttons on chart, and then select the grid lines and then delete the grid lines. Then with the legends, what we are going to do is we are going to go to design and then on chart layout, select or click on add chart element. When you click on it, go to grid lines. When you hover on the grid lines, you see we have none right top, right? So just click on top and then uh legends will be placed at the top instead of them to be placed at the right here. Right. Perfect. So now let's remove this, make it small. All right. So now what I'm going to do is bring the data labels. So click on the plus and then click on what? Data labels here. All right. So since we have the data labels, let's remove these numbers here. Perfect. Now select the bars, right? Select the bar, then control one. come to the format painter here. Sorry, come to the bar here, this bar. Let's make the percentage, let's make it 100%, right? So that the size will be 100% here. Do you see that? Yes, it is now big. Now let's change the colors. But before we change the colors, let us send them to the chart, so to the dashboard, so that we will know the charts that we are going to use, right? So select and then Control X to cut, come to the dashboard and then Control V to paste. Perfect. So now let's first of all duplicate this shape, right? Let's duplicate this shape, and then to be on the same page, let's use the same size, right? So select the chart, come to shape format. The height is going to be 2.5. That's perfect. But then the width, let's make it 4.49. 4.49. Perfect. So this is what we have gotten so far. All right. So now we can bring the shape here. So it is going to the back, right? So select the shape, right click, and then select what? Bring to front. And then you see now it is here perfectly. So let's place it here. Drag this one here. And it should be at the down. So make sure you take your time and then you make it look nice, right? Perfect. Should be at down. All right. So now let's bring the legends here. Sorry. Select the legend. Let's bring it here. Sorry about that. Why is it not moving? All right. Let's bring it here. Perfect. Now you see this one is saying sum of cost of goods sold. It doesn't look nice. So let's come here, double click on this one, and then let's change it to total cost. And hit okay. So now when you come here, you see it's now showing what? Total cost. Let's make it small. All right. Now it's time for us to change the colors. Let's bring it here. Change the colors. So select the bar, the blue one, then control one, select the paint icon here. So under automatic, select the color and then choose this color. So this represents what? Sales. Anything showing sales, we use this color, and then anything showing cost, you use this color. So select the second color, select this one, and then select this color. Perfect. Now this is what we've been able to do so far. So now select the chart, control one. Let's remove the line. Let's remove the background. So this is how our chart is looking like. Now let's bring title. Let's bring some title so that when someone lands over our dashboard, he or she will know that okay, this chart represents the total sales and then the cost by what? By the year. So what we can do is duplicate this one, bring it here. Let's change the color. So go to home, the color. Let's choose something like this, right? And then let's make it 12. Let's kind of expand this, and then you can see total sales and cost by year, right? Perfect. So now let's make it smaller, bring it somewhere here, right? Perfect. This one can go to the top. Good. Now we want to show management what is happening, or explain to management what is happening on the chart here, right? So we want to get some button here. So when someone clicks on the button, they will get a drop down of the explanation and then the recommendations, right? Perfect. So now in order to do that, I'll go to the developer. Now if you are not seeing the developer tab here, just go to file, options, customize ribbon, and then you just go through this, and then when you see the developer tab here, click on it and then click on add, and then it will be added here, and then you click on what? Okay. That's perfect. All right, so I'll go to the developer tab, and under insert, I'll insert this button, right? So I'll drag this here somewhere like this, and then I'll rename this to recommendation. Hit what? Okay. So it is saying what? Button 2. So I'll rename it to what? Re, sorry, recommendation. Right. Perfect. Now, in order to select this button, make sure you hold your control and then you select so that you can move it around. Right. Move it around like this. All right. Now, let's go and insert the chart, sorry, the shape where you are going to write the recommendations on, right? So something like this. Let's bring it here. So we want when someone clicks on it, we want the recommendation to cover the chart, right? Perfect. So how's the chart? Sorry, the shape is selected. Control one. Let's remove the line. Then let's change the color to something like this. Perfect. Perfect. Now control to select this and then move it top at the top here. Perfect. Now select this and then let's rename this shape, right? Let's rename the shape. Now, in order to rename this shape, let's bring our formula bar. Now, you see, when you select this shape, it is saying rectangle 29, right? Rectangle 29. So just select under the name box here, select everything, delete it, and then rename it to recommendation. Sorry, reco recommendation shape. Make sure we don't have any space between them. So it's what? Recommendation shape. Write them together, right? No space. So we can copy it and then hit enter. So now this shape is what? Recommendation. This shape is what? Recommendation shape. Now, in order to represent what is happening on this shape, first of all, I want us to do something here so that we can get the percentages, and then when we get the percentages, we will use the percentages to explain what is happening on the chart, right? Perfect. So what I'm going to do is going to equal to, then select the year, then enter. So what I'm going to do is drag it down to get all the years and drag it to the right, right? So I'm going to unbold it, right? And I will bold the headings rather. Perfect. Now select everything and then let's remove the decimal places. Perfect. And then let's bring what? The comma separator and then remove the decimal places like this. Perfect. So this is what is happening. Now we want to get the year on year percentage change, right? Year on year percentage change. So total sales, uh, when we want management to see the percentage change year on year, right? And with the total cost too, we want management to get the year on year change. So what I'm going to do is select this one, Control Shift Plus. Sorry, let me delete it and then insert it here rather. So select the total cost, Control Shift Plus to get this space, and then we'll say sales growth growth rate, something like this, right? Then here you will see year on year change, something like this. Perfect. So now what we are going to do is we are going to get the year on year change for 2014, 15, 16, and 17. But then with 2014, there is no previous year to compare our sales with, right? So we will leave this one blank and we come to 2015 since we have 2 years to compare, right? So to be equal to bracket 2015, the figure for 2015 minus the figure for 2014, bracket close, divided by the figure for 2015. You see that? And then hit what? Enter. So we are getting 0, right? We are getting 0. So first of all, I'm going to select this one, hold my control, select this one, and then come to the home tab and then change it to what? Percentage, right? Change it to percentage. Now you see it. So it means that from 2014 to 2015, our sales is what? Decreasing or reducing. You see that? So this was 484,000, but now it is what? 470,000. So it's reduced by what? 3%, right? Or let me, I'm coming. I'm just doing some rough things here and see something. All right, all right. Don't worry, don't worry. So let's autofill this one here. And we do the same thing for cost. So it will be equal to bracket 2015 cost minus 2016 cost, 2014 cost, bracket close, divided by what? 2015 cost. So enter. You see 6%. And let's drag it here. Now, what is happening here? We are saying, okay, so 2014 we made 484,000 sales, but 2015 we are making 470,533. So it means our sales is what? Dropping. That's why we are getting -3. But then moving from 2015 to 2016, you see our sales increased, right, from 470 to what? 609. That's why we had what? 20 positive 23. But then 2016 to 2017, although the sales is increasing, do you see that from 600 to 600,000 to 700,000? But then when you check the percentage, it is from 23 to what? 17. This is what we say our sales is what? Increasing at what? At a decreased rate. Do you get it? Although it is increasing, but then the rate at which it is increasing is decreasing. Do you get it? Yeah. So that is that. And when you come to the total cost, we are saying in 2014, this is what we had. This is the cost that we had. But in 2015, we managed to decrease our cost. Right, we managed to decrease our cost. So this is some of the, insights that we can see. Okay, so what happened? What did we do right? Right, what did we do right so that what did management do right in order for them to decrease their cost? So that is where when we are done with everything, we are going to know that okay, so this is what happening. This is what happened in maybe January or February or this or that. That resulted in a decrease, right? So whenever our cost is decreasing, it means it is good news, right? It is good news, but it's not always good news, right? It is not always good news. So it could also mean that we are not, spending more in advertisement, you are not spending more in promotion. You get it? Yeah. So there are so many things that can contribute to this, right? But in general, we are saying it is good because our cost is reducing, right? Perfect. Now we can get the average, and then we will use the average to make the analysis, right? So equal to the average of all the percentage, and then get this as what? 12%, and then the average equal to equal to average. Average of this is what? It's 11%. Right? Do you see that? Perfect. I think I made a mistake here. Now, instead of dividing the formula by 2015, you have to divide it by 2014, right? Good. So forgive me for that. I made an error here. So this is what it's going to be. It's going to be equal to 2015 minus 2014, close it, divided by what? 2014. So it will be uh, the current year minus the previous year divided by what? Previous year. Do you see that? Yes. So forgive me for that. Made that mistake. Perfect. So this is what you want to get. This one too is equal to 2015 minus 2014, close it, divided by what? The 2014. That's the previous year. Yes, this is the correct formula for getting what? The year over year or the percentage change. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So now this is what we are getting here. We are saying that okay, so over the years, right, from 2016 up to 2014 up to 2017, our sales has increased by what? 16%. And from 2014 to 2017, our total cost has also increased by what? 15%. Although the total sales is more than the rate at which the total sales is increased is more than the rate at which the total cost is what? Increasing. This one we are going to say, okay, we can accept that, but then we can, improve on it. Do you get it? Yeah. So this is what we are going to use to, explain to management what is happening in the business, right? Perfect. Now, let's go to the chart here. Then right click on this and then go to what? Edit test. Now, we are going to say explanation. So we are going to say that sales and cost, sorry, and cost are both increasing steadily, right? They are both increasing steadily. But then, however, the sales, the sales growth rate, right? That is what. Then we reference what? The 16% that we've gotten, right? 60% is is higher, is higher than the cost growth or the cost rate. That's what. Then we also what reference the 15% that we got, right? Comma. Then it is what, because the sales is more than the cost, it will lead to what? Profitability. So we can say leading to what? Improved profitability. Improved profitability. So this is what is happening on our chart, right? This is what is happening on our chart. So if this is what is happening, then what recommendation do we give to management? What do we recommend to management? Recommendation. So we are recommending that management should what? Continue scaling. Management should continue scaling sales efforts. So whatever that they are doing to increase sales, they should continue and then see if they can explore other alternatives, right? Or add any extra things to what they are doing right now. But then they should also focus. So while monitoring cost efficiency. So we are saying, okay, continue with what you are doing to increase sales, but then don't also forget what is happening to your cost, right? So you have to monitor cost efficiency to what? Maximize higher margins or margins, right? Perfect. So that is what we are saying. So just select it. Let's make it big. Let's make the font big. So okay, now perfect. So now let's make this one bold. Then let's make it italic. Control I to make it italic. This one to Control B, Control I to make it what? Italic. Now this is what we are going to do. Wherever you see, wherever we see sales, right? We are going to use the color that we are using on the dashboard. So this sales, we are going to use. Let's go to this part. The font color is going to be this, and then we are going to what? Bold it, right? So that we will differentiate it from the cost. This one too. We're going to bold it, then give it this color. Right, perfect. So this is what is happening. So sales and costs are both increasing steadily. However, the sales growth, so let's make this one too. Sorry, this color. Then we can bold it too. It's higher than the cost rate. We we can make it this color and then you bold it, right? Leading to what? Improved profitability. So if this is what is happening, this is what we are recommending to management, right? So management should continue scaling, blah 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 blah. Now, since we've done this, how then do we make sure when we click on this, it hides, right? You see now when you click on this, nothing is happening, right? How then do we do that? This is where VBA comes in, right? This is where VBA comes in. So don't worry about what I'm going to write. If you don't understand, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. So let's what we are going to do is click on the developer, then click on what? Visual Basics, right? If you want to follow along. So I already have it here. So I'm going to type it one by one so that you understand it perfectly. All right, so this is what is happening. We are going to insert a VBA code that will make the recommendation button responsive, or it will make the recommendation button whenever we click on the recommendation button, it will bring the recommendations, and then when you click on it again, it will hide the recommendation, right? So what we are going to say is what? Dim rec visible as what? Boolean. So forget about I said for if you don't understand, don't worry, okay? Just write it sub toggle recommendation. Perfect. So what we are saying is dim ws as what? As worksheet. Then since we are dimming w as worksheet, now we can set ws as what? To be equal to what? This workbook, this workbook dot sheet. Sorry, dot sheet to bracket. Sorry, to bracket. So now, on what sheet do we want to insert the button? On the what? Dashboard sheet, right? And you close it like this. Perfect. Now, when you come here, we are going to say if, let me, sorry. Now, we are saying if the rec visible is a name that we are giving to uh the shape, right? If rec visible is false, if it is false, then we are saying ws meaning this workbook dot sheet sheet shapes to bracket recommendation. So the recommendation box is the name that we gave to recommendation shape. Sorry, is the name that we gave to the shape. If you remember, close the bracket. Dot what? Visible should be set to what? MSO what? True. MSO true. Right. And the next one is what? Rec visible should be equal to what? True. Don't worry about this. I'll explain it to you. Then else, if this is not true, what we are saying is the worksheet sh worksheet or shape into bracket the recommendation shape, the name that we give to the recommendation shape should dot visible should be set to what? MSO sorry, false. Then we come here, you say rec visible false, right? And then now we can do what? End. So we can say end if. Perfect. So now this is what is happening. This one, the dim rec visible as boolean. We are saying the rec visible, the rec visible is the name that we are is a universal name, right? Or global name that we are giving to uh the toggle on and off, right? So if it is on or off, so the sub toggle recommendation is the name that we a name that we are giving to the sheet, right? And then dim ws as worksheet. So the dim is dimension, right? Dimension as worksheet. Then the this one is like we are declaring a variable. So the dim is what declare ws as worksheet. So we are giving worksheet instead of writing worksheet, we are giving it what ws. So whenever you see ws, we are referring to what worksheet, right? Whenever you see ws, we are referring to what worksheet. Then we are seeing the worksheet. We are storing this workbook.sheet into bracket dashboard as what worksheet. So whenever we see worksheet, we are calling this, right? So don't worry if you don't understand, right? Don't worry if you don't understand. So let me run it and see what will happen. Okay, I'll see toggle filter. Okay, that is perfect. Now we are done with the VBA, so we can exit the VBA. And now, in order to make this work, in order to make it work, what we can do is come to the dashboard, and then we want to, when we click on this, we want it to show this. And then when you click on it again, we want it to hide, right? Um, so this is VBA for you. Don't worry about it if you don't understand. Okay, so now I will just right click on this one on the button, right, and then click on what assign macro. So I'm assign the macro that I'm assigning is this macro, right? Sales dashboard, blah 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 blah. So this is the name that I gave to the macro or the VBA that I wrote, toggle recommendations, right? So let me click on OK and see if it works. Okay, they are saying we should debug. Let me see. Okay, so WS shapes recommendation ship recommendation ship dot visible is equal to MSO true. Okay, so this is what happening. Let's see what will happen here. So let's right click and then let's assign macro again. Then this is the toggle recommendation that we use. So we can go to edit, and then this is the code again. So we are saying we are declaring visible as what as boolean, meaning this is what the global declaration, right? So you see this is what declaration is, global declaration. So the sub toggle recommendation is the name that we are giving to what the whole VBA code, right? The name that we are giving to the whole VBA code. So the name ws as worksheet is what we are declaring a variable. So we are saying that whenever you see uh, WS, we are referring to WS as what worksheet. But instead of typing the whole worksheet, we are using WS to represent the worksheet, right? Now, since we are using WS to represent the worksheet, we are setting the worksheet as what? This workbook dot sheet into bracket dashboard. Now, what this means is that instead of always typing, we see here WS is here, WS is here. So instead of always typing this workbook dot sheet, blah 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 blah, we just call on WS, and then since this WS is stored in this worksheet, this WS will be returned here. But then this one we are going to write only WS, right? Then the recommendation sheet, the name that we give to the sheet, or right, the name that we gave to the sheet earlier on. So we gave to the sheet as what? The name to be what? Recommendation sheet, right? Recommendation sheet. Then we are saying if it is visible, then give it what? True. Then the rec visible is what? True. Else, if the recommendation shape is not visible, that's what? Not visible is false. Means if it is not visible, then the rec visible is what? False. Then we are what? Ending if, and then what? We are ending the sum. So don't worry if you don't understand. Don't worry about this one. Right? Don't worry about it. Just look at the code and then copy the code, and then you'll be good to go. So now we are done. Let's right click and then assign macro. So you see the name that we gave to the code is here. So toggle recommendations. So let me go to VBA again, and then you see what I'm trying to see. So this toggle recommendation, right? Toggle recommendations is what we are assigning to this button. So when you right click and then you assign macro, so we are assigning this toggle recommendation and then hit what? Okay. So now let's see if it works. So when you click on this, do you see that when you click on it, it shows you the explanation and what the recommendation. Click on it. When you click back, it goes off, right? So this is what we want to show. This is what we want to show. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to get so far. Let's move on. Now to move on, I want us to insert the slicer, right? I want us to insert the slicer so that we can filter what we've done so far to see if the data will be responding to our slicer, right? So to do that, first of all, I'll go to the home tab and then click on find and select, and then I'll go to select object. So I want to select this one, everything, then move it down, right? Then move it down. So select this, select the chart, select, sorry, this one, select everything, right? Everything. Then let's move it down. Let's move it down. Perfect. So we didn't select the shape, so let's move the shape down as well. Perfect. Now let's insert our chart here, right? Let's insert our chart at the top so that uh, we'll be able to filter our slicer. We'll be able to filter our slicer. All right, so come here. Sorry. Come here. Let's deactivate the select object. All right. Now let's insert a shape, illustration, shape. Then let's insert this shape here. Perfect. So this is where our slicer will be, right? This is where our slicer will be. And to be on the same page, Control 1 to remove the line, right? Control 1 to remove the line, and then the color is going to be what? White. The color is going to be what? White. Now select it again. Let's go to shape. The height is going to be 0.49. Yes, that is the height. Okay, perfect. And then the width is going to be 13.24. Okay, I think this is okay, right? So it means this has to come to the down a little, or we can move the KPIs to the top. So let's, on the home tab, let's select find and select, and then select object to select everything, right? To select everything like this. Perfect. And then let's move it to the top, like this. Perfect. Now we can move the shape to the top as well. All right. So this is what you want to get. Something like this is okay. Now let's insert another shape. Let's go to illustration, shapes, and then this time around, I'm going to insert this shape. Let's see. What shape should I insert? What shape? What shape? What shape? Okay. Let's try this and see. Go to insert this. All right, and then I'm going to do Control 1 to remove the line, and then the color is going to be this color, right? So what I'm going to do is go to shape format, and then you see under arrange, come to rotate. Then let's rotate 90 degrees right, 90 degrees right. So something like this. Then let's make it small. Let's paste it here, something like this, right? The point is too big. Perfect. So this is what we want, right? All right. So let's come here. Let's come to the home. Go to select and then deselect the select object, right? Perfect. So select this one all time and then let's duplicate. Let's bring it here and now go to shape format, and under shape format rotate, and then we rotate this like this. No, let's rotate flip horizontal. Do you get it here? So that it will face this one. Perfect. So this is what you've been able to get, right? This is what you've been able to get. Now, to bring in the slices, let's go to the analyze and then select anywhere in the pivot table, right? Select anywhere in the pivot table. You can go to pivot table, analyze, and then you can insert what? Slicer. Now, with the slicer, let's select slicer for the category. So check this one, and then a slicer for let's see, for the shipping mode, right? Or the ship mode. So this one, this one. So we get what? Two slices. Perfect. So we can select the two and then what? Control X to cut. And we come to the dashboard and then Control V to paste. So let's move it here. So for now it is not looking nice, right? The slicer is not looking nice. So all we can do is let's bring it here. So select this one, go to slicer. Now we want to get two column or two or three columns or four columns, right? So the column, when you select the slicer, come to slicer and then under columns. So you see it is one, so two, three, and then four. Do you see that? Yes. So now we can do something like this. Perfect. Perfect. And then we can place it here. Now, what we can do is select the shape and the slicer, go to slicer, and then under slicer setting, this first part here, click on slicer settings, and then make sure the header is what? Deselected. So deselect the header and then click on what? Okay, so now you don't have the header, you don't have anything like this. So this is what you want to get, right? Perfect. Now it still doesn't look nice. It still doesn't look like nice. So select it, go to slicer, and then this one, when you select this one, the first one, slicer style, select the first one, right click and then what? Duplicate, right? So now we will give a name as maybe my slicer, anything that you can remember, right? My slicer, and then the whole slicer, select whole slicer, format. The whole slicer, we want to give it white color, and let's see what will happen here. So we didn't see anything, right? So select the slicer again, go to format slicer, then select the first one, right? Let's see if it changes. Nothing changed. So select the slicer once more. So sometimes it is very tedious to, get the slicer that you want, right? But we are going to work our way out. So now select the first one, right click and then click on what? Modify. So go to header. Okay. Okay, so go to whole slicer. Let's format the whole slicer. Go to border and then give none. So no border, right? Give none and then hit OK. Now, when you click on OK, you see now we don't have any border around the slicer, right? Perfect. This is what we want. So you select the slicer once again. You go to slicer, then this first one, you right click, you modify. So now we are going to selected item with data. So for now, before that, let's select one item. You see the slicer is responding, but to only this one. Don't worry, I'm going to fix that. So select the slicer, go to slicer, then on the first one, right click and then modify. Let's bring it here. Now, the go to select slicer, selected item with data. So selected item with data. So when something is selected here, we want it to be the format, the color should be what? This color. The font should be something like 12. It shouldn't be bold. And you don't want to have any border. Okay, the font, let's make the font black, right? So black is okay. But then the fill should be our color, right? The fill should be our color. So go to more colors and then let's use our color. So our color, the red is what 33, the green is what 158, and then the blue is what 188, right? So and then hit what? Okay. Now let's click OK and see what we've done so far. Now do you see it? So when we select a slicer, this is what is going to appear, right? Or this is how the format is going to be. Now let's go to unselected item. So go select the slicer, go to slicer, and then right click on this one and then modify. So what we did was what selected item with data. I think we like it. And then let's do one more thing. So whenever something is selected, let's make it the font to be italic and then let's make it 12, right? So let's see what happens. So do you see it? Whenever something is selected, this is what it's going to be. So whenever it is selected, this is what it's going to be, right? Perfect. Okay, now we are still working on the slicer. So right click, modify. So let's go to unselected item. So unselected item, let's make it, format it. So if nothing is selected, let's make it the font to be 12 and I think the border, let's make it this border, let's make it this color, right? But then we will select this line and then select it at the bottom, right? At the bottom. So that is that. So let's click OK and then OK. Let's see, nothing happened, right? But then I'm coming. Let's bring it to the down part. Okay, nothing happened. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to the slicer, click on it. See, nothing is still happening, right? So you have to play along with the slicer, right? You have to play along with it too, so that you will get what you want. So modify once more. Selected item. Okay, so what we did was selected item with data, without data. But then let's go to unselected item with data. So unselected item, go to format, uh, the border, you are going to do this color, select this one and then bring it to the bottom, right? Then the font is going to be 12. The fill is going to be what? White, right? Let's see what will happen. Perfect. Do you see that? Did you see that? Perfect. So this is what we want to get, right? This is what we want to get. So select it and then let's make it make a little, go to slicer, then under button, we want the height to be, let's say 3, right? 3. Let's see what will happen. 3 is too much. Let's make it 2.6. 2.6 is too much. Let's make it 2.4 and see what will happen. 2.42 is too much. Let's make it 2.3. Wow. Let's make it 2. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's too big, right? So go to slicer, then the height, let's make it zero point 0.2. Perfect. Now let's make it zero point 0.4 and see 0.4 is big, 0.3. So do you see what I'm doing? Just play along with it, right? Play along with it and then you get what you want. Sorry. Select it again. Then now like this. Perfect. So now this is what we've been able to get, right? So when you select this, see the data will be changing. So when something is active, you see the color. The color is this, and then when it is not active, this is the color, right? Perfect. Now, okay, let's okay, let's shift it here somewhere like this, right? Perfect. Now we are going to do the same thing to this one too. Go to do the same thing. So you click on it. Let's go to slicer. Click on this like this. So we have replicated the same formatting to this, right? We have copied the formatting to this. So when you select this, you click this slicer. Now let's make the column 3. Perfect. Then let's drag it like this. Now select it, go to slicer, slicer settings, and then what? Deselect the header and click on what? Okay. Now do you see it? Perfect. So we are going to expand this. We're going to expand it. Perfect. So this is what we have. Right. This is what we have. All right. So now let's place it inside the chart like this. The shape like this. All right. Can make it smaller. Right. Perfect. So let's clear all the sliders. I think this button, the button is too big, right? Let's make the button uh the height to be maybe 0.25 like this, right? So you just have to play along with it, right? Until you get what you want, just play along with it. Perfect. Okay. And I think the size is too big. So let's modify it. So selected item with data format font. The font should be 12 rather. Do you get it? Yes. So now this is what we have. So select this one, go to slicer and then select this. Perfect. Now let's bring some labels to see that this is a slicer for maybe the ship mode, and then this is a slicer for what this for the what this is a slicer for what the categories, and then this is the slicer for the ship mode. So what we can do is uh let's duplicate this label here, duplicate, bring it here. Let's change the color. The color should be black, something like this, right? Perfect. So now we are going to say cate categories filter, right? Perfect. So let's select it, make it 12, make it bold, and let's make it this color, change the color to this. Let's unbold it. Perfect. Now this is too big, it's too wide, something like this, and then let's bring it here. All right, so here you want to have some arrow icon, right? Arrow icon. So your Windows key full stop. So hold your Windows key and then full stop, and then you see this emoji, right? So select this one and then come to where the arrow back and forward is, right? So we are going to insert some nice arrow, something like this, right? Perfect. And then we cancel it. Let's make it read. Do you get it? So whenever someone comes here, we are telling the person that okay, you can filter based on this, right? So this becomes what filter by category. So let's select this and then duplicate this and then bring it this one here. And then now we can edit this one as what? Shape mode filter, right? So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. Perfect. So select this. Perfect. So that is that. So now, you see, when we select a filter, right? This only the total sales and cost are the only shapes responding to the filter, right? So let me show you how you can do that. So now select the filter, right? Select the filter, sorry, the slicer. Go to slicer and then go to report connections. Now you see that it's only pivot table 5 that has been connected. That's why I told you that you have to make sure you name your pivot table, right? So you see the KPIs, we named it. That's why it's showing KPI. Now we make sure it is connected to what all the charts. Now when we click on same day, you see this one is responding, and then all the KPIs are also what responding, right? So this is what we've gotten so far. This is what we've gotten so far. And then let's make sure this one too also is connected to the KPIs and all the charts. So this one, then hit what? Okay. So when we click on it, you see it is responding. This one too is what responding. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to do so far. This is what you've been able to do so far.